After the 2-0 loss at St James's Park to Aston Villa, Newcastle go away to Paris to play PSG. Can they come away with all 3 points and qualify, make the automatic qualifications for the Champions League? Let's find out right here on Toon Tactics TV, folks.
Oh, brilliant from Shea. And now Murphy could take on the shot. Fabian Shea
All right, folks. How are you all doing? As always, I hope you guys are blessed no matter where you are, no matter what you are doing. You could have been anywhere in the world doing anything, but you are right here with me, and God bless you guys. And as always, folks, it's always a blessing to be doing the shows with you. I'm looking forward to the night show. We're going to be doing a reaction to the Villa game. Then we're going to be doing the preview to the PSG game and do a tactical breakdown for that. And then we're going to look at some players that have been whispered, like literally whispered so subtly that nobody's heard them, apart from a few people online that have mentioned them. But I'm going to speak about them because I think they really fit the profile of what Eddie Howe and his scouting team would be looking for. So lots to look forward to tonight's show. But as always, folks, do remember to like, share, and subscribe. And let me know how you guys are doing. Let me know how you're feeling this evening, this morning, this afternoon, wherever you're calling from. Whether in this continent, Europe, or the next, wherever you are listening from, do let me know. Let me know how you guys are feeling. And it's good already to see in the comments. Villa fan, good to see you, sir. God bless you. I don't know what GG stands for. You have to. I'm not up to date with all the abbreviations, but I want to say congratulations to you and for the 2-0 victory. I think you were quite. I think you didn't think you were gonna come away anything from the result, but so you must be extra delighted when it's always good when your own team does way more than what you expected, and so I always love one of those ones. Good game, good game. Love that, love that, love that. It was, and there's a lot to kind of talk about. And as we're already on it, so I'm really keen to hear your feedback on the game, your context in the game, what we're saying. So really, really, really looking forward to it. Villa fans, I'm delighted but disappointed over the news about Tielemans. I didn't. It must have been. What's happened to Tielemans? I hope everything's all right with him. Nothing too serious. Do let me know what's happening with him. But I'll look out for your comments just to give me an update on that. But whilst we're talking about Villa, let's go straight to the match itself to react to it. Oh, I forgot to put it on the screen here. Got the PSG game up because we are going to be talking about PSG in a moment or two. But first, let's do the Villa reaction. Here we go. So let me get onto Villa and talk about the Villa game. I have to say to you guys, I haven't had the opportunity to see the second half live apart from the I was in church, so I didn't get to see the second half. I did see the first half, and obviously I saw the highlights as well. So I'm going to be trawling through the data for that as well. But let me know from you guys' perspective how you think the game went. Because I'm going to need a lot of context because a couple of things caught my eye about the game. Let me go to Newcastle. Couple things I wanted to mention, which I've got here, but let me give an overview of the game. Or should I say, how did I want to do it? How did I want to do it? In fact, all right, let me give a view of the, because there's a couple of things that stuck out to me from the stuff that we talked about in the match preview. Should I do that first? The match preview first. I'm stuck now because I was thinking I had it. Let me show you what I thought. Let me remind you folks in terms of what I said in the match preview. and then we'll go to the overall game stats as well. So I'm keen um, to kind of say that because we're going to talk about the some of the stuff from that. First of all, if you guys remember, one thing is uh, the expected XG against Villa was talking about it was that teams were severely underperforming it. And I think for me, that was to do with the exceptional goalkeeping of Mr. Emi Martinez. And we talked about how his save percentage is literally like 2-3%, maybe 4% higher than the nearest goalkeeper to him currently in the Premier League. And I mentioned that because, again, you're going to see in this game, Newcastle's XG, no matter what you make of XG, is higher than Aston Villa's. And me speaking from the first half of what we saw, the like literally the save from Emi Martinez from Tonali when he went about four players in the opening 30, 40 seconds, and he saved it with his feet, diving the wrong way. And as soon as I saw that save, I thought of this. And I'm like, yeah, this is why their XG, the teams our XGs are overperforming, but they're not putting away their chances because their goalkeeper is absolutely exceptional. And then that was followed up by the save by Emmett Martinez from Lewis Miley, the header, literally almost like from behind his back like that. He saved it like that. And I thought that was, again, I thought that was an exceptional save from Emi Martinez there. So it just reminded me of that. Um, and again, we're going to see Newcastle's XG was higher than another team's, which is annoying. Why can't I? It won't let me go to the next slide for some reason. I'm stuck on this one. Why is that? Why am I stuck on this slide? Why won't it show the next slide? Because I wonder why it won't. Why won't it let me go beyond? Ah, okay, so it didn't download properly. But the next one I was going to show was so we're talking about the goalkeeper save being exceptional. I'm going to the old school way. If you guys remember, literally, you would see the whole PowerPoint. So there's Emi Martinez overperforming. Well, performing really, not even about overperforming anymore. It's just performing. Like that's just what he does. Um, and the other thing, which is up here, which is um, two things we talked about was the Villa's ability to score outside the box. Where you see me talking about wonder goals, but literally goes outside the box, which they scored. That was the first goal they scored outside the box. And then I talk about how the last 16 goals before these two goals, 16 goals were outside the box, 3 goals were inside the box. And indeed, they scored the second goal inside our box. So they did both in our for our game. They scored outside the box and they scored inside the box. And you can see here in the XGs here, we see the goal here from outside the box from Buendia, and then obviously from Ollie Watkins. Where is it? Here we go. Ollie Watkins, obviously the header inside the box here. So I wanted to point that out. Like the goals and everything else kind of reminded me of that. The game reminded me of that. And obviously we're going to see also in the XGs, where is it? Put this down. We won't share this one. You're going to see in the XGs as well, Newcastle performing, but not getting it over the line, partly because I think Emi Martinez was exceptional. But perhaps I'm sure some folks in the chat, and good to see lots of folks in the chat come in. We're going to say hello to all you guys in the moment. Again, perhaps us not taking opportunities to when they present themselves. But good to see again, folks in the chat. Villa fan says he's got okay. This is for Tielemans. He's got a serious injury when Hall pushed him and appears to have had a ankle ligament, but not being sorry. That's serious, man. Well, I pray that he gets better and it's not too serious. First of all, that's what I really hope. So I didn't realize that was how bad it was. Big up to, and God bless you, Aaron Cave. Good to see you. Good evening, Philip. Um, Aaron says Philip that watching the second half. It was bad. Okay. Aaron says this game is one of them where stats don't do it justice. Villa tactically outdone us. Our attacking patterns are stale, and Villa rightfully deserve to win the game. So Aaron there, quite conclusive about the game. Big up and God bless. Adrian, it says evening to you, sir. Villa fan says Joe Linton seems to be in trouble. He's got a bit of an groin injury. I think he's probably going to get. They're looking for a second opinion. It's not clear how long it's going to be off for, but I hope it's not too long. Aaron says the way Villa had a variety to the build of different attacking patterns, and the way they set up just shows how stale we are from a build-up and attacking perspective. Some wide triangle overloads. So yeah, Aaron's overall message is that we're stale, repetitive, and predictable. Villa fan says, by the way, we signed Abraham and Douglas Luiz today. Jeez. Villa fan, did you have to say that out loud? You're gonna trigger some fans today, man. It's all. What's the thing that when it's dry and it blows across? Is it barley? Going across. That's our transfer window at the moment. Aaron says Emery had Buendia follow Miley, and Villa knew how we attack, and the patterns are just stale and repetitive. Wide triangles and overloads not working. It's in the pockets more and not enough variety. That's from Aaron there. Let me know what you guys thoughts are. And look, let's get an overview for them. As I said, look, again, the main key metric is the goals, which is 2-0 to Aston Villa. For a goal outside the box, great goal from Buendia, and the follow-up header from Ollie Watkins. We dominated possession. We had a 2.18 xG. You can see at least from this table here, it feels quite even. We had some shot. We had about what eight. I'm going to see in a moment, about 8-9 shots inside the box. About 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 shots outside the box as well. So it looks like we tried to have some shots outside the box as well, but obviously none of them went in. We created 3 big chances. I'm sure the Tonali one, the Miley one, and I'm sure there must have been one in the second half probably. Villa created 2. I don't know if that's the 2 that they scored. 15 shots to us, 14 to Villa. Our keeper had to make 6 saves. Villa's had to make 4, 6 to 5 corner kicks. Total shots on target from us, 4 to us, 8 to Villa. Again, the shot quality to me is continuing to be a concern. So we had 9 shots inside the box. Villa had 7. We had 6 shots outside the box. Villa had 7. Again, they produced their shot quality completely outdid us. Villa created scored from their big chance and missed one, whereas we did not. We created 3 big chances, as mentioned previously, and did not score from any of them. 24 touches inside the box from us, whilst Villa had 26. So from an attacking perspective, Villa proven to be very clinical. Jules, we seem to have really were significantly stronger. There was also one stat that I saw from, I think Bobby Fairview actually showed it on Morgan Rogers, and how, on the Jules, I think he was tackled by us about 21 times. He lost like 15 Jules. And you can, we continue to be very robust in our duels, and our ground duels 59% compared to their 41%. Aerial duels 53% to us to their 47. We dribbled 72% successes in dribble. 13 out of 18 dribbles were successful by us. That's the highest I've ever seen for Newcastle. That is the highest I've ever seen this so far this season, anyway. Whereas Villa had 6 successful dribbles. So uh, it's frustrating a little bit. It is frustrating reading these stats. All of these are healthy and green, apart from the big chance, apart from the main ones, the goals, the big chances um, scored from. Um, we had da, 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 447 accurate passes compared to Villa's 272. We had 79 final third entries to their 58. We had 70% accurate of passes in the final third, so in Villa's half, compared to Villa's 68% accurate. We had 50% accurate long balls compared to Villa's 28 accurate long balls. Our cross is 18% accuracy compared to Villa's 50%. Now, how much of that is cross quality compared to movement in the box? You guys remember we did discuss this for the Watford game as well as other, not Watford game, Wolves game, as well as other games. And I'm not, I think it's more of the case of the lack of movement at the moment. Obviously, let me know what you guys thoughts on the Villa game. I'm going to go to the chat in a moment. But this is very frustrating. Again, another one actually that's very frustrating now. 63% tackles won by us, 62% by Villa. So that's quite close. We had to make 3 interceptions. Villa had to make 7. Recoveries were quite close. Interesting. We had 3 errors leading to a shot. That's not good compared to Villa's 0. Goalkeeping saves. This is another one that's interesting. So minus zero point 0.2 goals prevented. So Pope essentially did his job. He only really underperformed by 0.02, if anything. Like, I don't know if maybe it looks at the Buendia, or I don't think he could have saved that. The Ollie Watkins goal possibly should have. I don't know. Do you blame him for that? Whereas Mr. Emi Martinez, according to the stats here, definitely prevented at least 1 goal from Newcastle. And you can take a pick between the Miley and the Tonali goals as well. So outstanding performance from him. Pope did make 3 big saves. But Emi Martinez made 6 high claims. We've got a 0 here. I wonder, is it because Villa didn't really cross the ball much? Well, they did, but I don't know. That's interesting. So frustrating stuff. Frustrating in the sense that there's the typical kind of stats we were pretty good at. Even got really good at in dribbles, especially, but aerial duels, ground duels, passing accuracies, possession. All good, but the created chances. The problem is not good. Is the missed big chances. The lack of quality created from the crosses that were made into the box. Um, the lack of quality on the shots on target. Um, that's the part that is very, very frustrating, I think, from that game. Aaron says, I can't think of any chances we created apart from the Sandra chance and the header. Villa intentionally sat back, had a great structure, and allowed us possession, and we did nothing with it. Yeah, I don't know if Villa allowed us possession. Well, I'm only speaking about the first half. But to me, the duels won, ground duels and aerial duels, suggest that we took possession from them. Either way, like you said, they they did more with their position than we did. And big up to our friend of the channel, and God bless you, Bobby Fairview. Big up Philip and the Toon fans. I'm joining in for a dose, for a dose of optimism. Remind me, Bobby, I was talking about the Morgan Rogers stats that you mentioned about. I think is it like he lost 50? He was tackled 21 times. He lost 15 joules or something like that, kind of indicating how on it our midfield were. So I mentioned that as well. I thought that was a really useful stat. Aaron says, I don't think it's for the lack of movement in the lack of it's the lack of variety in our patterns. We have one idea, force it wide and spam crosses. When you have a 5-9 striker, it's not likely to work. All I'll say is that if it's that predictable, we wouldn't be getting crosses in the first place, right? Um, and we wouldn't be creating the chances that we're creating in the first place. Um, for me, the bigger problem is the missed chance opportunity. I think someone read the other day. I don't know if and this is why I miss FBref so much. But I think this season we've got like 70%. In fact, let me see if I can. Where would I usually go to? Would it be if it wasn't FBref? Would it be? Would I find it in FOTMob? And I'm looking for what I'm looking for is percentage on. Let's see if you guys can see that. Yeah, the percentage on of big chances missed, because I'm sure somebody said that so far this year Newcastle have missed like 70% of our big chances, whereas last year it was like 59%, and that's pretty significant. That is pretty significant. Um, as well. And it's good to have Bobby Fairview here as well, because I think you've updated your XG table. If Bobby's still here, do remind us where Newcastle are at and what is the situation? Is Eddie Howe performing, underperforming? I think if I remember, he said the players are letting him down. But do correct me if I'm wrong on that. So, can you guys see this? Yes, you can. Bobby said something here. He said, yeah, I think it's a record for the total number of duels lost and tackles received. Oh, that's for Morgan Rogers. Yeah, it was a record for the total number of duels lost and tackles received in a single game. He got mauled. So the midfield did their job. The instructions were clear. Stop Morgan Rogers at all costs, and that's exactly what we did. Where is it? XG difference. We're fifth. Shots on target. Okay, so big chances missed. There was a percentage last time on this, but we're fifth in the league for big chances missed, with 41 big chances missed, which is not that that is not good. There was a percentage though. Is it FOTMob that does it? So yeah, that's corners. Clean sheets, attendance. Okay, so let's look at this. Let's see if we can work out a percentage. So, okay, here we go. Big chances created, 59. So 59, remember this number. We've got 59. We're seventh in the league for big chances created, right? Now 59 for big chances created. So we created 59 big chances, seventh in the league. Big chances missed. Let me see if I can. Hopefully, I don't embarrass myself. So we've got 41. So 41 of those big chances we missed. So what's the percentage on that? And anybody whose maths is probably better than mine can let me know. So 59. So what is it? Is it 59? What's the percentage on that? What is it? How many did we miss again? 41. Times 100. Yeah, so that's 69%. Nearly 70, 69.49%. Jeez. That's high, guys. That is proper high. Let me see. That's okay. So that's this season. Can you show me this time last season? This time last season, I don't know if this so this is 24-25 season, right? Now I don't know if this is saying for the whole of last season. I think this might be for the whole of last season, but let's just do this now. For the whole of last season, this is just in the Premier League, right? We had 63 big chances. Is it 63 big chances? Is this the big chances? So this so that's big, sorry, that's 63. We were ninth for big chances missed. So that's 63 big chances missed. How many big chances did we have? So just remember this season so far, we're on 70% on big chances missed. That's huge, right? Last year we had created 107 big chances. We were seventh in the league, so that's 107. 107 big chances, 107 big chances created. I forgot how many missed again. 107, 107, 107 big chances, 107 big chances. How many missed? How many missed? How many missed? 63. Okay, 63. This is all of last year. All of last year. So just remember that. 63. Okay, so 63 divided by 107 times 100, 58%. So that was correct. That was correct. 58.8%. So we can say 59% if you want to be like panicky about it. So far, we're nearly on 70% in terms of big chances missed this year, whilst last year we're on 58%. So for me, this is the serious underperformance in terms of where we are in terms of like the lack of shot quality, the lack of clinical edge in the final area. I think that's the thing that's bothering me at this moment in time. Bobby Fairview says, "Yeah, I think it was a record for the total number of duels." So that was Morgan Rogers one. I read that one. Wobojog, God bless you. Good to see you as always. Wobojog says, "Hey Phil, hope you like Bobby Fairview. I too want some positivity, man. So that last bit I just gave wasn't very positive. Sorry, man. I had Normandy landing esque couple of days. Didn't know my cards had so many haters. Come on, you knew that. You knew that World Drug, man. If you didn't know before, and it's not because of fans like you, because you're very, very you're as objective as you can be when it comes to your own team, and you don't come off like it's the thing. I think my camera's gone again, but I think from what I'm gathering and what I've observed, especially with some Arsenal fans, not all, is I think what gets people's goat. And I try not to. I don't personally try let it get it to me. I think my whole thing is to try and be as objective as I can. But I think for a lot of people, what gets their goat when it comes to Arsenal fans is what you hear typically and quite often is the arrogance that comes with it. Not only are we top of the league, but we're the best team here, we're the best team there. We've got this and we've got that, and so I think that's what gets people's goat. But all you can do is win. At the end of the day, all you can do is win. Aaron says we didn't create much from the wide areas because there was a 4v4 down the right side. We tried to work it in the congestion and it wasn't happening. They do keep a disciplined formation. We did create chances though, and as we've seen so far this league, we're just this season we're not doing. We're just not doing well in terms of converting our big chances. Bobby Fairview says, "Big up, Woodrow. Oh, good to see you here. Missed you when I was on the stream a couple of weeks ago." Bobby Fairview says, "Yeah, Philip on Eddie. He's being let down by the attackers." And look, we just talked about it just now. 70% big chances missed compared to last year's 59%. That's crazy. I applied my weighted 2-1 versus XG performance table to the UCL and to the performance table to the UCL, and Newcastle should be in fourth place. Well, yeah, we should have beat Marseille, and for sure Eddie Howe was let down in that game, and that was obviously when Pope went walkabout. I think, in fact, Eddie Howe actually talked about that game as well in the press conference and said, I think that from the way he spoke, from the way Eddie Howe spoke, that's still a game that's clearly on his mind as well. Gosh, this camera, is it ever going to come back? Hopefully it does. Anyway, Adrian says everyone hates Arsenal. I think even from what I can see, some Arsenal fans, a lot of Arsenal fans hate Arsenal. Adrian says it's just the law of nature. I'm not gonna go. I'm not. I'm gonna. Yeah. A close mentor of mine who's an Arsenal fan and a childhood friend who I've known since I was 7 years old. I've known him for 30 plus years. Who are Arsenal fans. So I find it like difficult to hate Arsenal or anybody because of that, because I think of them. But I think it's the online world, content creating world. I'm not even hate, but just like I sit there and I'm thinking, oh, the arrogance here is insane. I don't even get this much arrogance from City fans, and they're winning four-peats, trebles, and all this other stuff. And they've got the best manager literally in this generation. I don't even get this level of arrogance from them. Warbodrug says, Phil, my experience with my own fan base is most of us who saw Arsenal win titles in the 90s and early 2000s are more calm. Yeah, I agree. Like I even mentioned, my childhood friend, my mentor, are more calm than those who didn't live those experiences. Yeah, I agree. I think that's it. I think that's it. So, look, there's I don't know what else I can add to the Villa game, and from what I've heard from you guys as well, my big concern remains the fact that we're missing the chances that we are creating, and even if we were to say that uh, we're getting predictable, I find it hard to buy into that when we're creating big chances. We're still delivering the crosses. If we're that predictable, then it'll be a lot more easier to stop us at the source and stop us from creating in the first place. That's not to say that we shouldn't improve our patterns of play, that we shouldn't improve in the different areas. But as I pointed out, I think, and even Bobby Fairview in his own table, it's our attackers at the moment. They need to really, really step up, and we've been saying it for quite a while now. I do also take into account, and actually the same thing counts for Villa because they got Europe as well. But I do take into account the fact that um, we've also had Europe, and it is intense, and we've got to keep in mind that there is going to be fatigue. We can't ignore that. You've seen it from the teams that have played in Europe. Obviously, Villa did well, but you saw Arsenal lose. Liverpool are exhausted. Man City, obviously, they got the win, but they're finding it hard to find consistency in form. Chelsea, they won, but I think even Chelsea fans will say, "Hey, this has been very difficult. This has been a difficult season for them. It's not a season where they're dominating and going out there and they're certainly finding inconsistency as well. Um, so everyone very much is struggling. I'm trying to download the file that I wanted to show you guys properly on PDF. So hopefully that it would come a little bit. It would go on this. I can get it on the screen a little bit better. So, but let me know what you guys feel about the game so far and everything that's going on. Aaron says we can't use fatigue as an excuse. Villa played on Thursday and traveled back. We are at home. No, I did just say that in terms of Villa as well. Like they were in Fenerbahce away before going to St James's Park. Not to say I'm not saying it's an excuse, but it's a factor. We all the same way we can't use it as an excuse. We also can't totally dismiss the fact that we literally we're playing back-to-back games. We're playing 3 games pretty much a week. Villa aren't in the League Cup semi-final. We are. Those games all mount up to something, and so it's not an excuse, but you can't not factor it in at the same time. I think there's a balance to that, and I think really you saw that play out in the stats a bit. The fact that we won so many of our ground duels significantly, we won so many of the aerial duels. You can argue we held the possession, um, and I think that first goal that they scored from outside the box is testimony. Is it changed the game as well? Had Tonali scored the first goal, I think the game looks a little bit different. And so the fact that they've got that weapon to score from outside the box is absolutely huge for them as well. It had Miley's goal gone in, and Emi Martinez didn't make those exceptional saves. Again, I think all of that. I think that game gets changed as well. Wobbledro, Wobbledro says Villa lost all its midfield muscle in few weeks. Fatigue is a thing. Absolutely, absolutely. I think Onana was struggling. Um, Tielemans potentially has a ligament issues. McGinn was off, so it's everybody's going through. I was worried even in the game that possibly Tonali would have an issue as well, but thankfully continued. But Jolinton came off with a groin injury. We didn't have Bruno. Bruno didn't play because of fatigue. Hopefully, he plays against PSG. So I think it's definitely a factor. So I'm just trying to get my program to load on as well, and so I can do the preview for the PSG game. And in fact, while it's doing that, because I did want to actually, because I'm on Sofa Score anyway, I want to give an overall view on PSG. Now that we've talked about them, actually, phenomenal team. I got to see their previous game. Let me make sure you guys can see this. StreamYard. No, why can't you see this? How many Sofa Scores? Oh, because you're on FOTMob. That's why. Share this tab instead. Can you see that now? Yes, you can. I saw their game against Auxerre, and that was the last game that they played on the 23rd, it's about 4 days ago. And how they move is fantastic. Now, I actually watched the game against Auxerre primarily to watch Kevin Danois play, because obviously he was the player that was linked to us. And Auxerre put up a really, really good fight. And what changed the game for PSG? And the PSG actually made a lot of rotations for this game. So you can see to the right, they had a lot of. They had, who was on their bench? Desiree Doué came on the 61 minute, who changed Dembele, who came on the 62nd minute, who changed the game from them. He actually came on and started as he does, and we'll talk about it, him going into the pockets, making he got the assist as well. He changed the game for them as well. Marquinhos stayed on the bench. William Pacho stayed on the bench. So those are the players that we expect to be playing. But you can already see they got a long injury list. PSG, Kang Lee, so the big players: Kang Lee, João Neves, Fabian Ruiz, Akraf Hakimi, Nuno Mendes. So they've got significant players that I didn't realize they're their injury list was that huge. But Dembele came on for Ramos and made a difference. Got the assist for Barcola. Auxerre actually put up a really good fight, I felt, in this game, but and created chances in this game. Let me see. Actually, I didn't see the stats for it, but well, really low. Their expected goals is really low, but maybe moments really. You can see from the expected XG 2.22 for PSG, they probably deserve to win. 5 big chances, 16 shots. They totally dominated the game, to be honest. But Dembele came on and he changed the game for them and as well. So they're performing really, really well. As you can see, um, we'll look at League R, then we'll go to the Champions League. But they are top of the League R. You can see last 5 games they won. I'm pretty sure that stretches even longer uh, as well. But they won the last 5 games. They're on 45 points, and they're really close. 2-horse race at the moment in League 1 for the title with Lens there as well. So that's a big, big thing for them. They've scored so far 41 goals and 15 goals conceded. 14 from 19 games they've played. 14 games, won, 3 draws, and 2 defeats, plus 26 goal difference. So dominating the French league as they tend to do. And you can see obviously their home matches, they've scored 22 goals in their home matches of 4 goals conceded. So, and they've lost no home matches so far this season in League R. Now, in the Champions League so far, the interesting thing is, I didn't realize this. Oh wow, I didn't even realize this. But we've got the same goal difference as them. Now we've both obviously played 7 games. We've both won 4 games. PSG and Newcastle. We both drew 1 and we both lost 2. We've got PSG have scored 20 goals and conceded 10. We've scored 16 goals and conceded 6. So we've got the better defense and they've got the better attack. We've both got 13 points. And I think pretty much victory will pretty much put both of us, if either one of us were to win, into the automatic spot. So I say all that to say this. PSG, I think, will put out their best team for this game. They won't do what they did against Auxerre and have 3 or 4 of their players on the bench. I think their best team will play. But I didn't realize they had this many injuries, which is interesting. And because I don't think they want to do the extra 2 games, 1 game to qualify, which is what we would have to do as well. And I think Eddie Howe will put out his best team as well. I think both of us will go for it. So I didn't realize that we were this close. I knew that we had the same points, but I didn't see that we had the same goal difference as well, which is remarkable to see actually. And if you see in terms of the home fixtures, now when we're at home, we're not playing at home, so there's no point looking at us. But PSG at home are 15. This is the Champions League, they're 15th. This is crazy. They've won 3 games at home, lost 2. No, excuse me, drawn 2. They scored 10 goals, conceded 5 goals. No, they have lost a home game. They have lost a home. I wonder who they lost to. They lost to Bayern Munich. Okay. That happens. Bayern Munich are a good team. And my camera's glitching. Thanks for that, Aaron. Yeah, it's on a funny one today. So this is no. Hold on. What am I looking at? No, yeah, this 25-26 season, right? Yeah. No, that is. I thought I got it confused. No, this is right. So their home form is, excuse me, guys, isn't in terms of Champions League, isn't overwhelmingly dominant. So how are we performing away from home so far? And our away form isn't overly predominant either. We've won, lost, and drawn so far playing away. We won away to USG, lost to Marseille, and drew to Leverkusen. We've scored 7 goals and conceded 4. So it's interesting. PSG aren't that great. They're better away from home than they are at home for Champions League games. So it's a bit of a rough one. It's a bit of a rough one at the moment. Like I didn't realize that PSG are so patchy at the moment. I did not realize that PSG are so patchy. Um, let me see if my slide is ready. Um, but there it is. I wanted to obviously key players as well. Key players. Um, we'll stick with the Champions League key players because that's what's going to matter. But let me look at their stats actually. So far, they scored 20 goals, 10 conceded, 14 assists. They're scoring nearly 3 goals per game. Um, got my camera back. Thank goodness for that. They're scoring in 2.9 goals, so nearly 3 goals per game so far. 16 out of 8, 16 from inside the box. Goals from outside the box, 4. They're creating 4 big chances per game. They're missing 2.9 of those. So because they're creating at such high volume, they're getting it off. They're still getting their goals essentially. They're getting 21 shots per game. Shots on target per game though, 7. Okay, 7.7. Successful dribbles per game, 9.6. You expect that with the players that they've got. They hit the woodwork 4 times. Counter attacks about 9. Accurate passes on average 90%. In their own half, 92%. In the opposition half, 89%. They're terrific on the ball, really. Now defending. They've kept 2 clean sheets and 7. So it's not overly impressive. They concede 1.4 goals per game. So they're pretty much guaranteed to concede so far. They make about 17 tackles per game. They don't have to make so many because they're always pretty much with the ball. 6.7 interceptions, sorry. The goalkeepers having to make at least 1.4 saves per game, which is pretty low, to be honest. And 10 errors leading to a shot, not too many, but still there. Errors leading to a goal, 3, which is interesting. They've committed 2 penalties. They've given away 2 penalties. Oh no, they're given away. They've conceded 1 penalty. Also, they penalties. They committed 2 penalties, but conceded 1. So people aren't eating their food when they're playing them. 3 last man tackles, 3 cleared off the line, so they're living life on the edge. They're winning 46%. Oh, they're winning 52% of their duels per game. Ground duels, they're winning 53% of the game. They're pretty fair, 50% on aerial duels. So they roll their sleeves up. They're prepared to fight for the ball when they need to. And you can see the last 10 games, they've won 8, lost 2 overall in terms of recent form. So, very good side. I don't think they're unbeatable. Let's have a quick look at Newcastle before we look at the breakdown in terms of the Champions League. Newcastle, before we go to the chat and we do a tactical breakdown of PSG. Stats. We've got to look at PSG's key players, but I'm going to mention them anyway in the tactical preview. Now, Newcastle, 7 matches played, 16 goals scored, 6 conceded. We are scoring about 2.3 goals per game, which is phenomenal as well. 16 goals from inside the box. Nearly, I think all of our goals are inside the box. We create about 3.6 big chances per game. we miss about 1.6. So it's the opposite around the Champions League compared to the Premier League. We're putting away at least, if we're creating three, about, say we create about three chances, we're scoring about one, nearly two of those, which is really, really good. We're getting about 13.4 shots per game. 6 of those are on target, so about 50%. 5.7 dribbles per game, much lower compared to PSG's. We've hit the woodwork twice. We've kept 4 clean sheets compared to PSG's 2. We can see about 0.9 goals per game. So it's a lot harder to score against us than it is compared to PSG, which is interesting. Our goalkeeper has to make about 4 saves per game. Only 1 error that led to a shot so far, which is phenomenal. We've had no errors that led to a goal. We've not committed any penalties and not conceded any penalties. We've not had to make any clearance of the line. We've not had to make one last man tackle compared to PSG, which is different. We've kept just below 50% possession overall. Accurate passes 81%. Accurate passes in the own half 88%. Opposition half 75%. Quite significantly lower to PSG. So you can already see where the strengths and weaknesses are for either side at the moment. We win about 49.8% of our duels overall. So for sure, Newcastle are the more defensively sound team, whereas PSG are the higher volume creation team for sure. So far, our top performing players in the Champions League, they got Harvey Barnes, Nick Pope, and Anthony Gordon. Mr. Gordon has 6 goals. I think he's equal Shearer's record, with Harvey Barnes on 5 and Young Whistle with 1. Expected goals records, so they were all kind of pretty much, they're all exceeding their goals record so far, which is good. Gordon's got 2 assists. Murphy's got 2 assists. That's another gentleman that we need to come back soon. Jacob Murphy, Kieran Trippier, Bruno Gomes expected assists, goals and assists. Anthony Gordon on 8 GA, fantastic. Harvey Barnes on 6 and Johan Wisser on 2. Distances covered per game, 12.4 kilometers for Mr. Lewis Miley is phenomenal. Jacob Ramsey, who gets so much stick, which is unreal, 12.2 kilometers per game. Joe Willett, which I think Joe Willett had maybe 1 or 2 games, but 12 kilometers per game. Then Tonali, then Bruno, then Jacob Murphy. There number of sprints per 90. When missed, this is maybe why I keep on getting hamstrings. Livramento, 21 sprints per 90. Elanga, nearly 21 sprints per 90. Gordon, 18 sprints per 90. And obviously, Mr. Gordon has got the top speed for us so far. So some really scoring frequency. Mr. Barnes is topping at the moment with 86. Scoring frequency in minutes. Every 86 minutes, Mr. Barnes is scoring in the Champions League. Every 90 minutes, Gordon is scoring in the Champions League. And then after that, it drops off. So the big ones are for us, for sure, are Mr. Harvey Barnes and Anthony Gordon. Gordon is getting about 2.3 shots per game. Harvey Barnes only 2 shots per game. It feels like the Champions League is way more open for us in terms of attack. Gordon's missed 2 big chances, so it's not too bad at all compared to like how many games he's played. Harvey Barnes created 3. Gordon's created. Elanga's created 2 each. So we've got some really impressive stats here. I feel like the Champions League, I feel way more happy from our offensive performance in the Champions League than I am with our what do you call it? With our Premier League performances, which is again leads back to just more frustration, really. Okay, so let me know what you guys think of all of that so far. Again, my download isn't working, so I'm going to have to just do this tactical breakdown for PSG in a funny way. but it's all good. It is all good. So I'm gonna go to the chats in a moment. Let me just get my let me get my PowerPoint up, and we'll go on from there. Okay, so PSG. So we're gonna talk about. I want to big up. So let me just go to the chats first, and we'll go and talk about it in a moment. Uh, Aaron says, "Did I miss anything else?" No, Aaron says we are absolutely screwed tomorrow. I'm praying for a draw and other results go our way. PSG are a phenomenal team. We've been performing in the Champions League for sure. Wobojog says, uh, Phil, I started watching OM Marseille a lot closer since 1 year. Yeah, he's having a good time when they're on loan. Attackers got so much time and space from what I've seen so far. They do. I think 1 year is going to have a fun. Him 1 year he might not want to come back to the Premier League at this stage. Aaron says we really need to pray tomorrow. We need to pray every day. The extra 2 games in our current schedule isn't ideal because we already play every 3 games. No, absolutely. Is my camera glitching again? I hope it's not glitching again. Oh, that was 10 minutes ago. Okay. Uh, yes. All right. So PSG. Let's talk about PSG. I'm going to show a couple of clips, but I just want to highlight a few things. All right. So I got these 2 highlights here. I'm going to first big up, because this is all from Tact, Tact, Tact X, Tact X, Tact X, I think it is, TACTX. They did this really impressive tactical breakdown of PSG. This is a few screenshots from their YouTube clip. I'm going to play some of these clips as well. I really enjoyed watching it. I really encourage you guys to subscribe to the channel and also watch these clips as well. But I want to get. There's a lot to say about them, and I'm going to boil it down to a couple things. Their rotation is phenomenal. So PSG have really good rotation. We're going to look at their central rotations. So you can, and we're going to talk about their side connections as well, which also end up being rotations as well. And I think, I don't know if Eddie Howe is necessarily trying to do this, but this is the next evolution in terms of playing. And I think if you want to be a top team, is these type of rotations that we're going to see PSG do. And despite those rotations, and you can see the triangles that they've got here in the actually, let me make sure you guys can see these. Yes, you can. You can see here on the flanks the RDM, RB, RF, LCM, LBF. You can see the flanks rotating there, but you can also see the fixed positions, the back three. So there is areas where and there are players who rotate, especially Vitinha and Dembele, who we're going to talk about in a moment. But there are at least fixed positions or fixed parts of the formation. So they always more or less keep 3 at the back, more or less. But the way their players rotate and move allows them to put players in advanced areas as well. And it's great to see 14 people in the chat. Please do like, share, and subscribe. If you enjoy the channel, if you're enjoying the channel, enjoying what you're watching, please do like, share, and subscribe. So you're going to see these fixed positions here as well. We're going to show on the Tact X website. Again, big up to them. This is screenshots from their channel and their video. Now, as they mention it here, PSG in possession have a structure and rotation. So they've got a blend of structure and a blend of rotation. So 1-3-4-3 in possession, structure, uh, as well as a Vitinha who instigates these rotations more in the you can kind of describe it as in their defensive half or midfield in their first or second phases, with Neves or Ruiz, who actually are both unfit for this game. So it's going to be interesting to see who else has done that, is going to be doing that, who fill out a single pivot role. So that's going to be Vitinha and probably one of the younger lot doing that for them. And then you're going to see, where is it? Here we go. In the more advanced areas of the table, of the pitch, is Dembele, who's creating who's the number 10, but more or less plays like a false nine. He helps to create the overload, like you can see on the flanks here, or through the central areas. He does that, or on the left side as well. He's phenomenal at it. And like I mentioned, when I watched the game against Auxerre, they were so disciplined, Auxerre were, and so structured. And I was impressed by Kevin Danwell. Just on the tangent there, on the side note, I can see why Newcastle and Eddie Howe would be interested in him. But anyway, back to PSG. The game changed with Dembele coming on and his movement and him causing these overloads on a very structured Auxerre team, even though when they were defending, they were defending in low block. PSG they got the goal in the transition actually when Auxerre committed their men forward, but um, Dembele remained in. I think he just remained in their half of the pitch, but he was in the right place at the right time as you expect him to be, and he was able to get an assist. So Dembele creates the overloads with Neves, Due, and Hakimi, and to exploit these spaces as well. So he kind of moves across these three areas of the pitch there. So I've discussed those. I want to show the highlights of those of how they work as well. And as I mentioned, big up to Taxed X, who created this what do you call it? Who created this tactical breakdown of PSG. So where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Here we go. Louis Enrique tactics. So just want to show the highlight of few of those areas. So I mentioned the side rotations and the central connections as well. So let me just kind of go through it, how that works for them. Once I get it on the screen here, make sure I got the sound off. So just to begin here. So they mention it here. Where is it? Can you guys see that? Yeah, you can. Now, they said Vitinha and João Neves, and there was another gentleman that they mentioned because two of those guys are not fit. But Vitinha, Neves, and Ruiz. So Neves and Ruiz are not fit. So who played against Auxerre? Let me just double check this before I show this. So before Neves and Ruiz played, let me go back to PSG. They played Auxerre. So it would probably be okay. So they got the young boys, Mayolo and Mbai, but I think yeah, okay, it's going to be interesting. They've got quite a bit of injuries here, PSG. Anyway, so these are the central rotations here. They're going to show you here. Vitinha, Ruiz, and João Neves. Imagine this is a CF. So they're going from right to left, right? These are the central rotations, always keeping the three at the back here. And it doesn't have to be a right back, left back. It can literally be a central midfielder on either flank with the right back or the left back pushing forward. They always keep the width no matter what. You can see Kvaratskhelia here on the left. Don't know who that is on the right there. And you're going to see Dembele dropping in here, the central areas of the three players here. And you can see here that this is, I don't know if this is Bayern Munich, but it's from last year anyway. The four at the back here, you can see that this team, whoever they are, playing in a 5-2. No, not 5. I was looking at the X. Sorry, they're playing in a 4-2-4 out of possession that they're playing against. And you're going to see the overload just committed just right there in the central areas with the CF dropping in. We've now got 3 on the right. Well, 4 versus 3 actually with the PSG player here, 4 versus 4. And that's how they create overloads in different parts of the pitch each and every time. And you can see even in this situation with the team in the red trying to close down PSG, it's a 3 versus 2. They're continuously in and out, creating these overloads against them. So in the first phase of play, they're able to come out again with a 2 versus 1, and on this left hand side, 2 versus 2, with the player dropping in. Now again with they're looking to go through the central areas again this time. It's very difficult. Did I just come out of it? Sorry guys, I think I just came out of it. Yeah, here we go. Playing out again. I think this is Pacho, who's not fit. Again, those central areas here. Going back again, central areas as well. With the CF, RCM, CM, and LCM here. Again, trying to play out from the back. This team doesn't know how do you. The worry for the Reds, the team in the red, is if we press them, we're going to be in absolute trouble here. But they're playing it from out the back. And look where the CF, with the CF dropping in, I think it's going to be Dembele. It's a 2 versus 1, really. Again, an overload is caused. They're taking a little bit too long for me to kind of get it out, but fine. The danger is always there. Again, playing it out and snap. Everything changes with that one pass through those areas in the 3 versus 2 on the right-hand side again. So these are, and then you got the side connection. So that was how they played through the central areas there. And you're going to have the side connections with these 3 here as well. With the LCM this time, LF and left and the LB here. I think it's Kvaratskhelia here on the left-hand side. Collective movements, how they all move together. LB going to the spaces each and every time, working the spaces with the movement they're making. Look at that big space that's been created. It's going to be interesting, super interesting to see how we're going to press. Are we going to do a man-to-man press? Because if there's danger with that. There's absolute danger with that if we do that. Again, with the connections, this time on the side here, causing all sorts of problems. Again, each and every time trying to create space, keeping the 3 at the back. The CM, you see, joins them at the back here with LCB and RCB. This is the CM with the back 3. With the where is he? With the LB. Look how far the LB is. The left back right there with the spaces and connections in there. So there's a lot. Their movement and their rotations are super, super, super impressive. So let's go to the tactics table and see what we get. Let me know what you guys think so far. Like, there is not every team. Well, we know not every team can do that because clearly they can't. Get my tactics board on there. Here we go. So let me share this tab instead. I think their movement and their rotations are so impressive. PSG. But what is interesting is seeing how in the Champions League, where I think the quality obviously is going to be higher compared to the League One, how they're not struggling. I mean, they're level on points of us, and they're reigning and defending champions with a much higher wage bill and a far deeper squad and a higher quality squad. So I guess in that way, if we're thinking about it subjectively, they are struggling. They've got injuries. They do have injuries as well. And it's going to be really interesting to see who plays for them. Now, they've rested quite a few players. They did have to bring on Dembele. I think Dembele is going to play for this game. Look at that. You can see on the right-hand side here, and you guys can see here, they got a whole heap of injuries. PSG do. Did I say Dembele? Doué. Is Pacho's? They've got him down as they don't know if he's going to be fit or not. But Pacho's there, so I think Pacho probably. It's going to be a difficult one. Does he? I think he probably. Did they keep Zaire Emery? He's been playing well for them. Okay, let's keep Pacho on the bench for now. Uh, Maybe Due stays on the bench or does it come for Barcola? But certainly Ramos. I think Dembele starts. Maybe Marquinhos for Beraldo. That might be a change. We'll see. So you'll see them like that. Now for Newcastle, let me know who you guys think should be playing. Chosen the team. Yeah, Osola's available, Elanga's available, Voltamada is available, though I don't think he starts. Willock's available, Ramsdale's available, Byrne, good to see him back, is available. Now, Bruno Gomes, he's with the team. Is he available? Jacob Ramsey. I think Mr. Gomes plays, guys. I don't think there's any way in the world that he misses this game, but Joe Linton is not available. We know that Joe Linton is injured. Does Miley stay on or does he play Jacob Ramsey? That's going to be the interesting one there. Maybe this time Tonali gets to play in his favourite left side of the midfield, though. That's going to be something to watch. Or does Miley play on as right back? Is Trippier going to be able to do this? Is that Trippier's fourth game in a row? So many questions to ask there. So let me know what you guys think. Maybe Miley goes right back and Ramsey comes on to play on the left. That's going to be a big one. Let me know what you guys are saying. Aaron says PSG back to full strength. Not quite. João Neves is missing. Fabian Ruiz. They got tons of injuries. Fabian Ruiz is missing. Who else do they got there? Lee Kang is missing. Mendes is missing. They're still strong, but they're not back to full fitness. To full strength. I don't think. Hakimi, yeah, exactly. Said Hakimi's missing. Yeah, a few of them. Hakimi, Nuno, and Mendes all play. Are you sure? Because they're all coming up as injured. There's been an update, fair play. If there's been an update, then fair play. Wolberdrug says, with how fluid PSG is, zonal marking is a death sentence. I absolutely agree with that. Man to man, you won't have a shape when in possession. I agree with that. A hybrid is your only chance. Plus, I hope your physicality helps mask some of your shortcomings. I think Eddie Howe is going to be praying for that as well. It's so. I'm lost for words because I'm thinking, how do you even plan for these rotations, really? Because some of you are saying Fabian Ruiz is fit. Can you guys even see from this? Because where is the custom players or custom team? Not custom. I want to change the color of the kits for PSG because I'm not sure if you guys can see it. That's even worse. You can't see that. Change outer color. Can you guys? Okay, I've highlighted them in green. So I've highlighted PSG in green. So what's going to be interesting is what PSG are going to do very, very well is you'll get this situation with Zabani, Marquinhos do a split like this with their fullbacks dropping in, and Vitinha will be playing in between here, popping the ball from side to side. So you're going to get these wide overloads to trap us with Dembele in these type of areas, either leading the line or dropping in whenever possible to cause these sorts of overloads. You either have Kvaratskhelia either playing in the pockets here or staying out wide with Zemery coming in like this, and you'll get these type of situations with uh, Dembele coming in and causing overloads and collecting the ball. I see us defending quite deep, even where we are here in these type of situations. This is where we actually do go into a 5-4-1. This is where Joe Linton would be so great to have. But alas, we don't have him. So we'll go probably into a 5-4-1 in these type of situations of Bruno, Gordon, Barnes here to do what we can to stop PSG from. They'll cause overloads anyway, but you don't want to be too high up the pitch when that happens. I think we go into a low block, to be honest, which PSG will be very, very used to. They struggled, in my opinion, to break down Auxerre when they were in the low block. Now, their full team wasn't playing, didn't start the game, admittedly so, but it is interesting to see that. And you're going to see these type of situations on and on and on and on being happening throughout the game where they're going to try and break our lines each and every time with this sort of movement. And to me, Dembele is going to be absolutely key in each and every area. Whether when he picks up the ball, his ability to either just drive himself and go at it, with the likes of Miley, for instance, or whoever's in the central areas, whether it's Miley, Tonali, whoever it is, they have to be able to follow Dembele and at least keep him from shooting inside, outside the goal, wherever he is, he can score absolutely thunderous goals. And so this is going to be absolutely key. Or even just by being able to drag our players across the pitch like this, um, he'll be able to create spaces in these type of areas for these players to be able to cause overloads on the side as well. So that's going to be absolutely key for us to be able to stick to not just allow these players to ghost in and score goals for fun, essentially. So our defensive structure is going to be really, really important. It's going to be what's also going to be interesting to see is what approach we take when PSG are playing out from the back. That's going to be really interesting to see. Let me get this again. Get them back. Let me play this again. PSG. I didn't get to. Here we go. So when PSG play from out the back, what are we going to be doing? I think, are we going to be doing a hybrid press, for instance? You've seen how good they are from playing out from the back. Vitinha again joins them in the middle here. You're going to see them going out really, really high. You're going to see really, really different kind of rotations going on. But no matter what happens, they are going to be keeping keeping 3 at the back no matter what happens. And these are the areas I'm kind of really worried about, especially on the left. Like Hall cannot be left isolated. I think Malik Chow and Botman are going to find it interesting because they're not really going to have a target man to focus on, right? They're not really going to have a target man to focus on at any one time, but they are going to have to figure out how high they're going to press because when the likes of Dembele, here we go, there he is. I've got Ramos up here. when the likes of Ramos is not easier, but more predictable because he is a little bit more. He's a modern centre forward, but he's more of a target man, so he'll be up close like this. But Ramos isn't going to be starting. It's going to be Dembele that's starting. You're going to have Dembele in these type of areas popping up in the half spaces. It's going to be interesting to see, how we're going to press. Is Gordon going to be doing his normal press and kind of really, really kind of coming at Vitinha, coming at Chevalier? Where's the ball? Coming at Chevalier. Where is Dembele going to see either Dembele really dropping in here, for instance? Is someone really going to go out and collect the ball from here? It's going to be really, really interesting to see. Well, Bodro talked about the hybrid, a hybrid between a hybrid man to man and essentially uh, a mixture of the both with zonal marking. Do we, no matter what, keep four at the back or maybe even five at the back with Tonali screening and Bruno and Miley supporting in the press overall? And that could be something. But I could just see them, no matter what we do, always popping up with various different spaces being created, especially on these type of areas. Chevalier's got the ability, we looked at him as well, to kind of pop it out as well from the back as well. So even if we do get the press done, uh, uh, he can still pop it over the top. I'll be a little bit surprised if he goes really long to Barcola and that, because I think Botman and Chow can win these 1-to-1s. So I don't see him doing that. I can see what Dembele trying to do is pick up and in these type of areas and then drive with it. So that's going to be the crucial bit. And it would have been great to have Joe Linton still fit in these type of situations, but we don't have him. So it's going to be really curious what we do. We also have to create chances of our own. We've also got to be able to create chances of our own. What we do is going to be really key. But before we talk about that, let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Adrian says, I heard Fabian's back. Yes, it'll be big news for them if he is back. I'm just going off of what SofaScore and others are saying. If Robert is saying exactly what I'm saying, you need Joe Linton to go through Vitinha first 5 minutes to shake him up. Would have loved that. If he gets in the groove, that's a very long night for you guys. I've seen it firsthand last year. You did. Big up to the 16 folks that are watching live. God bless you all. If you're enjoying the show, please do like, share, and subscribe. I got a 5-3-2. Aaron says I got a 5-3-2 Pope. Miley, Chow, Botman, Burn, Hall, Bruno. Oh, Burn. Okay, that could be Botman. Okay, so I've got the three in the back. That probably makes sense, actually. That probably makes sense. Bruno, Tonali, Ramsey, Voltemada, Gordon. Voltemada will play because Wissa was knackered. I'd also like to experiment with Rolanga I like that. I like that. It's a good call there, Aaron. Bobby Fairby says, I think your midfield is too tough for PSG. They're not accustomed to that physicality, but they'll remember it. They'll remember it. That's why I see Dembele dropping in a lot. As well. There is, if Fabian Ruiz is fit, they'll be a little bit more robust in the midfield. I wonder though, like how we I do wonder. I like what if we play the 5-3-2. Do we play three at the back? It's a good call because if we play the three at the back, so say for instance, who would have to be sacrificing someone in our. I don't think Howe would want to do that though. That's the only thing, because Barnes and Gordon would be good, and we need a central. So say for instance, Voltemada plays. Maybe Voltemada is the better call. And we've got, even though he doesn't like to be, not a target man, but he'll kind of be similar to what Dembele does for PSG. which is dropping into these half spaces as well. Zabani and by Vitinha. Vitinha is going to be absolutely key. The only problem with Voldemort is he closing down Vitinha is going to be, it has to be someone quick. It has to be probably Gordon. If we play a 5-3-2, then Miley off and you play Burn. Where's Burn? Where's Burn? Where's Burn? Where's Burn? Did I already get Burn? Here we go, Burn here. What that allows us to do, and I think Malik Chow will be the key man for this, is then you've got a Malik Chow and Dembele face off. Because you kind of you can trust Chow to follow Dembele. And if that happens, what you then can have is a situation where Tenali can support with the press a little bit more and free up Bruno in these type of situations. Gosh, I've got everyone everywhere here. It's going to be interesting. Who plays where? That's going to be so interesting. All right. I haven't sorted it out, honestly. I think we stick with a 4-4-2. I think we'll stick with a 4-4-2. I think Eddie Howe would want to try win it if he can. So it'd be between Miley and Ramsey who plays. I just don't know if Trippier's fit to play. I think Miley goes right back, to be honest. I'll be surprised if and I think Ramsey plays in midfield. So we've got Botman, Chow, Hall, Miley at right back, Ramsey on the left, Tonali screening with Bruno on the right midfield area with Barnes. Maybe Voldemort does start. I can see that happening. And I think is going to be what's going to be very, very key is Gordon, especially. I wonder how they deal with Barnes. I wonder what they think about Barnes, how they deal with him. That's going to be interesting as well. How Barado does against him, or Hernandez, whoever it is going to be on that side. You're right. Someone said it could either be a very long night or we can make something of this. But I think we're missing Joe Linton. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'll be really, really keen. Send in your predictions. Send in your predictions. I was going to do a scouting profile, but and I'm going to keep those for Thursday because I want to do the players some justice before I talk about them. I won't have enough time to talk about them. So let me know what you guys think, and we'll do a conclusion and prediction as well. Let me know what you guys think. Aaron goes for, send in your predictions, folks. Aaron says 3 at the back stops their threat from wide areas and allows Hall and Miley to push up and ping back their fullbacks in. Yeah, you could be right. Honestly, you could be right. Yeah. Aaron says you can't put Trippier against Farah. It's just elderly abuse at that point. Yeah. Adrian goes for a 2-2. All right. So for me, I haven't figured it out. I hardly had any chance to prep for this. The way PSG rotate. But like I said, the game I saw against Auxerre gave me heart. And the only reason PSG scored, well, the big reason why they created a lot of chances, to be fair to them, and they missed a lot of big chances, to be fair to them. But obviously, we're better than Auxerre, I like to think. But they kept a really good structure, Auxerre did. And PSG eventually were able to score from a transition. This game's going to be tough, man. Um, I think I think there is obviously the far higher likelihood is that there's it's going to be a PSG win. Um, but the narrow path to victory for Newcastle is if we maintain a structure, and this is a big if, we maintain a structure, especially our possession, and we're able to stop them on the transition. I think we can stop them from creating when we do a low block, but they've got such special players that if Villa can score, they'll look at what Villa did with Buendia, the way they scored outside the box. And Dembele is phenomenal. He's like he's laser shooting from outside the box as well. It's going to be hard to stop him from doing that. And their ability on the ball, I think the odds are very heavily stacked in PSG's favor. But if there is a narrow path to victory, is if we ride our luck. I do think we can get them on the transition, especially, and hurt them. Um, yeah, Aaron says head says 3-1 PSG. I agree with that. Heart says 1-1. I'll be even more optimistic and I'll say 2-1 to Newcastle for a that's certainly what my heart says. But I think, like you said, I think the odds are very stacked heavily for a PSG win. Um, if your setup handles, what would you say? If your setup handles dropping deep, Dembele dropping deep, I'd say 2 or 3-1 NUFC. Really? If you don't 3-1 PSG, you think what would you think that's the main thing? You think that's the main thing? If your setup handles Dembele, let me read that properly. If your setup handles Dembele dropping deep, I'd say a 2 or 3-1 NUFC or 3-1 NUFC. For you, the main thing is Dembele dropping deep. Wow, very optimistic is what I would say, because I do think there's still Kvaratskhelia on the left hand side, for instance, Bark or on the right hand, either left or right, with Barcola as well. I don't know. I think they have a little bit more ways to score, but yeah, I like that though, and I am worried about what the shots they can get outside the box as well. But if we were to win 3-1 at their stadium, that would be insane. Jog says that's how we lost last year. We couldn't contain Dembele when he dropped deep to collect the ball. Right, okay. And I'm not even sure if Dembele can play the full 90, to be honest. Not PSG. Aaron says head says 3-1 PSG. Heart says 1-1. Villa, they are Villa fan. They are PSG are very good. Absolutely. And they're really enjoyable to watch. Adrian says, let's stick Elanga on Dembele. And there's a good chance that Elanga does play as well. A very, very good chance that Elanga plays. But I think Eddie Howe would want to play his top scorers and GA guys, which is Barnes and what do you call it, and Gordon. Jog says, when you played them, every time Dembele dropped deep to get the ball, he ended up face the defensive line and run at it. He caused us so much problems. He did. I remember that when we played them. Yeah. I agree. Okay, so yeah, I think the likelihood is a PSG victory, but the narrow path to victory is partly what Wobajok was saying about Newcastle being able to deal with the Dembele threat. If we can do that, that helps us a lot. I also think if the rumors around injuries so far are true, and the PSG and the likes of Fabian Ruiz are out, it helps our cause a lot. I think that's a big if, to be honest. That's a huge if. I'm going to go for the narrow path to victory. 2-1 to Newcastle. But guys, it's been absolutely phenomenal as always, doing the show with you. Like, really encouraging to see 17 people watching live at this hour. God bless you all. If you enjoyed the show, please do like, share, and subscribe. We did a match reaction to the Villa game. We are missing 70% of our big chances compared to uh, around 58, 59% what was last year. And that is hampering our season, in my point of view, as well as other areas as well. But that's the big problem for me. We did the match preview for the PSG game. Incredible team to actually to do a review on. The odds are heavily stacked in their favour. I think if Newcastle are to win, I think stopping Dembele is a big part of that. But they have so many weapons in so many different areas. It's going to be very difficult. But I'm still going to go for a 2-1 Newcastle win, going for a heroic night for Newcastle United. We are going to be doing the scouting reports on the two young strikers that I talked about on Thursday. So, please do look out for that. But as always, folks, please do look after yourselves. And as always, folks, God bless you all. Take care.